Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. I'm a born and bred Sydney sider with an insatiable passion for history. So here on my channel, I'll be sharing how I find inspiration and nurture that love of history while living down under. So I hope you will join me on this journey. There will be days out to heritage sites, mainly around Sydney, but we'll also be going further afield and occasionally around Australia as well. So I'm excited and I hope you are too. In fact, we have an exciting trip coming up tomorrow. So I've just been doing some packing. I suggest you pack your bags as well because we are heading to Darwin in the Northern Territory. I have actually never visited. So we'll be taking this trip together for the first time and I can't wait to see what historical gems we find there. So join me. In the end, we ended up flying via Adelaide to Darwin. So Sydney to Adelaide was about 2 hours long, and then from Adelaide to Darwin was another 4 hours or so. I have to say that second leg was quite a bumpy flight, but thankfully we got there safely in the end. Here we are making our descent into Darwin, which is the capital city of the Northern Territory. It has a population of roughly 150,000 people compared to my hometown of Sydney, which has a population of around 5.3 million people. So let's get on the ground. After collecting our hire car, we headed to our accommodation, a lovely 2-bedroom apartment overlooking Stokes Hill Wharf and just adjacent to the Darwin Waterfront Precinct, which is home to, more than 20 restaurants, a wave lagoon, a recreational pool, and lots of other things, which I'll show you later on. But I must say it was just magnificent waking up to this beautiful view every morning. So once we were all settled into our accommodation, we visited the Darwin Aviation Museum, which is really a must if you're in this area. The museum tells the story of Darwin's aviation history and its involvement in World War II. Now, perhaps this is a little known fact, but on the 19th of February 1942, so just a couple of months after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, 188 Japanese planes bombed Darwin in 2 separate air raids and basically razed it to the ground. So you can definitely find out more about this tragic day at the museum. There's also 19 aircraft, both civil and military, on display, including a B-52 bomber, which is the only one on display in the Southern Hemisphere and only one of a few displayed to the public outside of the USA. I also greatly enjoyed seeing the replica Spitfire that was on display, so this is definitely a museum worth visiting. Just a stone's throw from the Aviation Museum is the Charles Darwin National Park. Its ecological diversity and Aboriginal and World War II history makes this a site of national importance. The lookout platform offers stunning views over Darwin's skyline. While the park itself is relatively new, the land is ancient. Shell middens in the area show that Aboriginal people have inhabited this land for thousands of years. Today, the Larrakia people, the traditional owners, maintain a strong connection to this area. The park is also home to ammunition storage and testing areas, built in 1944. Day 2 began with a visit to the World War II oil storage tunnels. These were built to house fuel in the aftermath of the devastating attack on Darwin. The displays inside Tunnel 5 provide a lot of information about the history and construction process of the tunnels, as well as information on the men and women who served our country during this tumultuous time. Let's now go for a walk around central Darwin and have a look at some of the city's historic buildings and sites, including Government House, which was built between 1870 and 1871, and Christchurch Cathedral, which opened in the early 20th century but was largely destroyed by Cyclone Tracy in 1974. Similarly, the Old Town Hall, which was constructed in the 1870s, was also devastated by Cyclone Tracy. More on this tragic event very soon. we are back at the Waterfront Precinct. I'm so glad we chose to stay in this area because apart from being incredibly picturesque, it's home to more than 20 places to eat and drink, a wave lagoon, a recreational lagoon, and a fun aquapark for the kids. Now, Darwin is hot all year round. It was between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius every day during our stay, dropping to between 20 to 25 degrees at night. They don't actually have traditional seasons in Darwin. There's a wet season from November to April and a dry season from May to October. I don't really cope well with humidity, so although it was very hot, it was a dry heat, which I find much more manageable. Day 2 of our Darwin adventure. We started the day by visiting the World War II oil tunnels. So 8 of these were built in 1943. So after the terrible attack on Darwin in 1942, they thought they needed some secret places to store oil and fuel. So we went to have a look at one of these surviving tunnels that's now open to the public this morning. And then my husband's here doing some masters swimming racing. So he went off and did his thing and I explored the city on foot. So walked around the CBD, had a look at some of the heritage sites there that I'll of course share with you. But now I've just gotten ready for the second part of the day. So we're going to go and find somewhere lovely to watch the sunset. It is Friday, it's Friday evening, or afternoon actually. So we're going to find somewhere to watch the sunset and have a lovely dinner. And so, yeah, let's go. Day 3 began with a visit to the Quantas Hangar, built in 1934. Today it's home to the Motor Vehicle Enthusiasts Club, and well worth a visit if you're interested in old cars and bikes. Our next stop was Fanny Bay Jail. I'll add links to all the historic sites I mentioned in the info box below. This was Darwin's main prison from September 1883 until September 1979. As you make your way around the site, you'll see, among other areas, the kitchen and mess, the laundry, and the various cell blocks, including the solitary confinement block, which must have been horrific for prisoners. The ablutions block was built in 1964. Prior to this date, the sanitary and washing facilities were appalling. Perhaps most confronting is the infirmary, added in 1887. It contains gallows installed in 1952 for the executions of 2 Czech immigrants convicted of murdering a Darwin taxi driver. They were the last prisoners at Fannie Bay to receive capital punishment. On the last day of our mini break, we visited the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory, where you can easily spend several hours immersed in the fascinating exhibitions. The Cyclone Tracy exhibit tells the story of a defining day in Darwin's history. In the very early hours of Christmas Day, 1974, Cyclone Tracy hit Darwin and caused widespread devastation. 66 people lost their lives on that day. Most were killed on land, but some died at sea. In the immediate aftermath, around 36,000 people were evacuated from the city as there was no running water, electricity, or sanitation. It took several years for the city to be rebuilt, and it wasn't until 1978 that Darwin's population reached what it had been pre-cyclone. If you're brave enough, you can enter a dark sound room and listen to a recording of the actual Category 4 cyclone. It's one of the scariest sounds I've ever heard. One silver lining, if it's not too insensitive to call it that, which came out of this tragic day was the introduction of greatly improved building standards, which would go on to save many lives during subsequent cyclone seasons. Cyclone Tracy was not the first or last tropical storm to hit northern Australia. In 1897 and again in 1937, Darwin was devastated by ferocious cyclones. For this reason, it's said to be the city that's been almost completely destroyed 4 times, 3 times by natural disasters and once by war. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this journey. Here we are arriving back into beautiful Sydney. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the info box. I very much look forward to seeing you all again in a fortnight. Until then, take good care of yourselves.